Are you afraid of mental asylums?
Does it conjure up images of straitjackets, crazy psychiatrists, and electroshock therapy? Keep watching to find out if this place is actually haunted.
Hi, I'm Alexandra.
Hi, I'm Russell.
We're a husband and wife team.
On a mission to explore the paranormal,
The supernatural, the mystical.
unexplained mysteries, and bizarre folklore.
We hope to shed light on these subjects.
And gather evidence along the way.
Get ready to open your mind as we're tapping in. Well, we're visiting the Traverse City State Hospital, formerly known as the Northern Michigan Asylum. So here's a little history behind this asylum. It was originally built in 1885. It was the third asylum to be built in Michigan and served 39 surrounding counties. So the original head doctor, Dr. James Decker Munson, had a special philosophy, and as you can see, there are some really beautiful windows in the architecture here in this series of buildings. And his philosophy was,
Beauty is therapy.
I really love the balconies outside, so you can really see how this philosophy of beauty is therapy really made its way even on the outside.
Walk around to the other side of the building. It really has a hotel-like facade. All the entrances go up these stairs. There's porches. We even saw a rocking chair at one point moving by itself.
It really was moving by itself.
And as we got closer, of course, it stopped. And we thought maybe it might have been the wind, but it could have been a presence, a benign one, since neither of us really felt threatened or scared in the least bit.
So his second philosophy was work is therapy. Maybe that's not such a great thing. I mean, are they indentured servants or what? They had a huge farm here. So they wanted to be self-sustainable and be able to feed all of the inmates here. And they raised Holstein cattle, I believe, and they had huge gardens. I think it does give them a sense of purpose to be able to do something rather than just sit with their thoughts, which maybe weren't serving them very well. Another cool thing that Dr. Munson didn't do was put people in straitjackets, put them in solitary confinement, do all these things, these horrible things that you hear about with, your standard historical insane asylum story. It has now been converted into shopping and dining and apartments, and now known as the Village at Traverse City Commons. So let's head inside and check it out. Russell, how did you feel going through the shops?
I felt generally like it was a nice, charming redo of the inside of the building. As far as what I got vibe-wise, the shops were pleasant. The owners seemed very nice.
I thought the shops were great. They were really cute, small artisan shops.
We bought a couple charms.
Yeah, we had to buy a few things. I did get a somewhat creepy feeling in the bathroom, like really old school, I think the 1950s tile, maybe even 1920s tile.
Oh, wow.
It kind of had almost a little musty smell. When I flushed the toilet, and this happened in the newer renovated restroom I used on the other side of the building, it flushed and flushed and flushed for a really long time, and then it was
the kind where it flushes gallons and
you
gallons.
could hear all of the pipes, and it was thud pipe. So what you see behind us is actually just a small portion of the campus. There's actually quite a bit of grounds here and other buildings.
Cottages over in this direction as well as over in these parts were actually built to deal with the surplus of patients coming in after the hospital had opened to much success.
So, is this place actually haunted? Now, there are some stories from the 60s. There was a forum online that we found called The Forgotten Children of the 60s. So, sometime in the 60s, they started bringing kids here. And from what I could kind of gather from the forums, even though it was supposed to be like a mental asylum, it felt like, from what people were talking about their childhood spent here, almost more like it was a juvenile detention center. That's what it felt like.
Or like something like an orphanage that was poorly run, because a lot of the staff, according to the accounts that we read on the forum, described the people, the hospital aides and the people helping with the patients, really the quality went downhill. A lot of them felt abused. They were hired for their brawn rather than their brains.
Now, that being said, there are some stories regarding the Hippie Tree,
which is located about 0.3 miles from where we're standing. It's easy to walk to, but apparently it has been called by some of the locals as a portal to hell.
We're gonna check it out and find out a little bit more about it. They say that spirits do tend to roam around the Hippie Tree from this asylum. So that's exactly what we're gonna do. Come with us. So here we are. So mediums and psychics have been attracted to this area, and people have come, hippies per se, as the locals like to call them, have come and painted this tree over time. As you can see, it's really multiple trees, and I'm not really sure. Some people are calling this a eucalyptus tree, and some are saying it's a willow tree. I'm not really sure. Some of it looks like dead tree to me, right? So the legend goes, if you can walk around the entire tree and not step over a branch or on the tree, you will open a portal to hell. There are some stories like that a priest who worked at the asylum had hanged himself here. I'm not even sure if that's a true story. There's some other stories that when the asylum was eventually shut down in the 80s, that the people who were at the asylum had nowhere to go, and they all just like had a homeless encampment around the tree. I don't know if any of that's true, to be quite honest, or if it's just a local legend. But I can tell you, as a psychic medium, this is not a portal to hell. However, I am going to do a little meditation and see if we can bring in any spirit. All right, so number one, this portal to hell business is nonsense. All right, this is not a portal to hell. It's a pretty cool location. I just did a little meditation here, tapping in, and I can tell you that I really wasn't getting much. Although I have to say, I couldn't get very deep in it. There is a lot of activity going on. There were some hikers, some bikers, and a commercial airline. What I am feeling is some positive vibes. All this fun painting on the trees is a really happy place. And so I would say definitely pay a visit here if you want a high vibe experience.
So guys, I've never done this before, but I thought I would go ahead and use a sound recorder to ask questions to the ether and see if there are any spirits present, near or far. See if they respond to any of the questions that I ask as a way to possibly call them into the present, into our existence at this moment here at the Hippie Tree. Are there any spirits present here at the Hippie Tree? Are we in communication with any ghosts, departed loved ones, or spirits? Are any spirits hearing this question I'm asking at this moment? Look what I found on my jean.
Whoa.
This is kind of
It's pretty cool.
a cactusy looking thing, right? You just check that out. I agree. I feel like this place is not haunted in any mean or malevolent sense. What I get, it seems to be a really cool kind of community sort of project that a lot of local artists have decided to sort of make as a communal thing. This is a great time of the day to be here. I do feel that seeing the sun go down and catching a lot of the different colors with the light coming through the trees really makes it special.
There's a little woodpecker tapping
There's
up
a woodpecker. He's tapping right above us. Yeah. He must be tapping in. But a cool place, and really neat to see how this tree, which was actually struck by lightning, kind of fell into, well, what they say is 3 parts, but it looks like there's a lot of parts. Branches, huge trunks, just gnarly looking knotty roots that have been there for a long time and have either desiccated or rotted. You can tell some of the wood is actually, I mean, it's rotting. But the paint really makes it beautiful and almost kind of has a sort of Lost Boys feel to it. Like it'd almost be a movie set.
Totally a movie set.
Yeah, Treasure Island or something cool and fun and like an adventure with some hidden gold, you know, underneath one of these trunks.
So what do you think? Have you been to the Hippie Tree or the Northern Michigan Asylum, now the Village at Grand Traverse Commons?
Drop a comment. Let us know if you've had any experiences, good or bad, or any kind of auditory things you've heard that maybe can't be explained, visual, or things that have sort of crept out from the corner of your eye that you haven't been able to exactly place your finger on. We'd love to hear in the comments anything that you might have experienced at the Hippie Tree or at Traverse City State Hospital. Thanks so much for watching, guys.
If you like this content, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see our next video. Hit the notification bell for your notifications, and we'll see you next time.